What is up, Higher View fam? How are you guys doing? Here with my better half, Alexis. Hello, my love.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up? That's like our thing. Like, what's up? You know.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on?
On the other side.
Hey, fam. What's up? What are y'all doing? No, but this podcast is dedicated to the outside thinker, the creative, and the believer. Anyone who's seeking community and just healthy views on worldly topics. We are your people. If you're interested in learning about other things and seeing things from a different perspective, come join us. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy just a little bit of our personalities and our conversations and just who we are.
Yeah.
So just welcome to the channel.
And you gotta go check out the other podcast episodes as well to learn more about us and what this podcast is all about.
Let them know.
Let them know.
Let them know. What was that? We were singing the Higher View coming into welcome to the Higher View.
The Higher View. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Higher View. Hey, hey. We didn't rehearse that.
That was.
Give yourself a big hug.
That was a freebie.
Good job, me.
Good job, me. Just so you know, we're not drinking Tall Boys right now.
No.
She just got us some energy drinks from Whole Foods, and she wanted to be healthy.
Yes.
So
this one literally says 100% crap free.
100% crap free, which it also tastes like crap.
This one tastes a little funny.
It tastes like mouthwash.
No, please don't say that. You're going to ruin it for me. This one tastes like a mint tea. So I'm just going to keep that perspective. Not like a mouthwash. No. Yours tastes really good.
Nah, but this one's not bad.
I don't know why I didn't get the same one. I just, I thought about it long and hard.
You were conflicted in your own feelings.
I was standing there for about 2 minutes staring at this one, reading it, trying to find how much caffeine is in here.
And you're probably going to drink that and you're be like, I don't feel anything.
No, I'm going to feel it.
No, I'm sure you will.
I'm speaking that.
But the only reason we're drinking caffeine right now is because we don't have any more coffee and we need caffeine for today. That's the struggle.
Because we just got back from Pennsylvania visiting my mom literally yesterday. We were there for my brother's wedding. It was awesome.
Very nice.
But we literally left Friday. Got there around 11 p.m. And then it's an hour and a half to drive home to my mom's from Philly to Lancaster, an hour and a half. And then Saturday we had the wedding, and then we left Sunday morning. Like, we left the house at 7 a.m., drove another hour and a half to get on the plane. The plane is 3 hours, get here, and then we just were nonstop yesterday.
6 hours flying, an hour, 2 hours, so about 3 hours driving, so 9 hours of travel. It's almost close to the time we spent there.
But it's fine. It was all worth it. But now we're just,
trying to catch up. It's been a struggle. Just been hanging out today. But no, it was really good. Pennsylvania, the weather over there is exquisite. It's amazing.
I like
it's so
that.
crisp. You like that word?
Yeah.
Exquisite. That was good. It's very crisp. Like in DFW, it's a little more. I don't know if it's the humidity or the pollution, but it feels thick over here.
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Probably.
But definitely the pollution is. We just don't have like big tall trees everywhere.
There's not as much oxygen.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I still find the little beauties throughout.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, it's a whole different level out there, especially because it's more by the water, the ocean. Like you just feel like you can breathe. Just like light, just like you get off the plane and just like.
Literally, I'm like, do you feel that crispness?
Crispness, crisp.
Okay. Well, anyways.
So
what are we talking about today?
Today we wanted to get into conversation about. Well, first of all, I'm going to go into how I thought about this,
Yeah, that's always good.
We were actually brainstorming last night.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a random one. We were on the way home last night, hanging out with some friends. We were at the Cidercade playing arcade games. It's like $10 to get in. You play unlimited games. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was awesome. But on the way home from that, and we're like just randomly brainstorming things to talk about today, and just exchanging ideas. And I was like, what if we talk about cutting off dead things? Because what came to my mind is like we have plants around our house, and whenever the leaves get brown, you have to cut those off, and so the new growth can come in. So that just like gave me an idea. That's kind of like the same way how life goes. And in order for us to grow and have new growth, we have to cut off the dead things in our own lives. And that could be cutting off dead habits, old thoughts, old ways that you process things, even like physical items like clothes or just things that you've collected over the years. If you have like been in a relationship with somebody and maybe you still have like a couple shirts or something from them, that could be something dead in your life that's still lingering around that you need to get rid of. So that's kind of like the inspiration that we found trying to or coming up with this.
Yeah. I feel like, just from my experience and also looking at how the earth is and how like God made the earth, I feel like that's an inspiration for us in our life as well. So when you look at the seasons and how the seasons change, there's always a new season coming. It's never staying the same. It's always renewing itself. And getting like when fall comes, the leaves change colors, they fall off. And then when spring comes, leaves grow again. And that's kind of what came to me as well, to look at that and be like, wow, like we need to let old leaves fall. We need to get rid of old leaves fall to step into the next season for new leaves to grow again. And because anytime we're stepping into a new season, it's a new season. You can't bring old habits. Like you said, you can't bring old things into that new season.
Yeah.
And so I'm really big into just moving forward and letting those new leaves grow. And I love that picture in my mind
of letting things fall off.
Yeah, letting things fall off. Like, just let them go. Let them disintegrate. Like, you are new every single day. Like, your new season could be the moment you wake up. You're not who you were yesterday. If you choose that, you can choose to you can choose to linger in your old ways, but I don't want that. Like, every day, like, I personally want to grow. Every single day I wake up, like, it's new today. And yeah, so
yeah, that's good.
I love that.
When you're talking about how the world is always going, how the world is always going to keep going, no matter if we keep growing or if we stop growing, the world keeps going with or without us, and that's something that we have to realize. Even if we don't choose to grow, even if we don't choose to go forward, everything else is going to move without us. Everything else is going to keep going. It's on a cycle. It always works either for us or against us, but it's always going to be working, So it's something to like, and it's just something I look at in a different way.
Yeah.
In a different perspective.
I like that. And you're only getting older.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to be stagnant? Like, and you can feel like your spirit and your soul knows when you're being stagnant. Like, you don't have like this full peace and this full like freedom, and it's just this bondage feeling when you're feeling stagnant. And like, I know what that's like even in like my thinking. I don't want to move on to the next season with old thinking habits, and that's really huge. And I have to speak those things out loud. I have to speak positive things over myself and the truth over myself. I can't, sit there and allow myself to dwell on past things as well. Like, that also is cutting off dead things, is your past.
Yeah.
That we're either looking at the past, the future, or the present. And I'm really big on looking at the present as much as I can. And like, I feel a lot. Like, I'm very sensitive to like energy, I guess you can say. Like, I have a whole testimony with all that
I think
as
you're
well, but
spiritually aware. I say, like I've said it before, you're spiritually intelligent.
yeah, I
have
know
an
like speaking it
intelligence.
like that, it sounds very like new age and
No,
things like that. And that's not what I'm coming off as at all. I mean, like the earth is energy. Like we are all like, we have energy. Like that's just how it is. Like, but it's the way you look at it, you know, like there's spiritual discernment. There's, you just can discern things, and that's a gift from God, and it's how you use that. It's not you that are, you know, like this is my power. Like no, it's not. Like that's a power that God gave you to, you know, be used by him.
Yeah.
Because if you can see that somebody is hurting, or you can feel something off in a room, like there's somebody there that needs to like talk to you, and that God could put the words in your mouth. Like there's power in your words, and there's power in your lips, and that's so big. But you have to understand that does not come from you. Like you don't get those heavenly thoughts. You know, this earth is very temporary, and it's why would I want to sit here and, you know, be stuck in this like old way of thinking, or your past. Like that's only like holding you down, and like that's such a big weight that you do not have to carry. You know, even addictions, like that's huge. Like that's dead weight that's holding you down, and moving on to the next thing. You know, if you're addicted to something, you're saying like that is bigger than God. You know, God is so powerful, and he can take away that addiction. You know, whether that's alcohol or drugs, or thinking about worry or things like that, or your perspective is blurry, like our past podcast that we listened to, if you haven't heard that, about your perspective being blurry, or your vision being blurry.
Either one.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, it's stuff like that. So
Yeah, I think what you're saying, you know, when you come to that point of feeling stuck, feeling like a weight, and we've been there. Like we've had that feeling of like, okay, something is off, something needs to change. We feel like we need to grow or something. We need to go towards a new direction, you know. And when that happens, when you come to the realization, or even if you just start feeling those things of, I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over, and there's things lingering on. There's there's pretty much dead leaves on you, on your plant. You know, you're the plant. But I think you really have to come to a point of self-analyzing and studying, like you're almost just breaking down everything to a T. Your daily route,
routine,
route
yeah.
or route. Your daily routine, whatever, same word. You have to break down your daily routine and see what is dead in your daily routine, and see what is giving you growth, what is helping you in your daily routine, and what is staggering you and holding you back. I know for us, like before all of our growth really happened as a couple and individually, when we lived on Bridge Street in that tiny 500 square feet apartment.
Yeah.
That was a tough season. It was a lot of carrying dead weight, a lot of dead weight that we accumulated over our upbringing, a lot of dead weight that we accumulated over the things that we did through high school, like bad habits we picked up, like smoking. We smoked a weed 24/7. Like we were high all the time. And it came to a point of just knowing that, like, I don't like to do this, and I feel like this is literally just dragging me down.
Yeah.
And it literally took self-analyzing. We had to study ourselves, you know, like internally, and see what we needed to change. And smoking was definitely one of them.
And I personally made excuses on excuses. Like it took me a while, because I smoked since I was like, I started when I was about 14, but it wasn't all the time. Like I started after I graduated high school. When I turned 18, moved out, I smoked every single day. And even like I'd be at work and I would go to my car during my break and have a hit or something. Like I always was high. And I even was like surrounded by people that was high too, like at my workspace. And it's just a thing to do out there when you're around people like that. But, you know, there's no like shame or like anything like that if you drink alcohol or you smoke weed. Like we're not saying like, you know, that's bad, you shouldn't do that. But I would never like tell somebody, oh, you should start doing that, because everybody is different how they do things, you know. Like, I'm never gonna like tell somebody like what you're doing is right or wrong. Like, that is your personal conviction. That's between you, your relationship with God, or like what for yourself, like you will know what is wrong or what's hindering you. And for me, like, I made excuses on excuses because I also like learned about weed and or like CBD and cannabis and like how what it does to the body, how it can help with things. And like there's medical things for that, but those are for people that like have cancer or like are struggling with certain things, and they would rather go to that than a drug prescribed from like pharmacies. And like that is worse than the cannabis, but it's how are you using it? Like, obviously they're going to get enough dose where they're not like high all the time. Like they can put it in their body to help them, and it's not like altering their mind so much that they're not in this reality. For us, that's not how it was. I smoked all the time, and I was like,
it was like we wanted to be somewhere else.
Yeah, and it felt weird to not be high. Like it felt weird whenever we started being this reality. Like I was like, I need to be in a different reality. Yeah. Like I always was escaping this reality. And honestly, when I was like stuck in that cycle, it was very hard for me to start my healing journey. It just was. And by God's grace is so good. No matter if we're failing, no matter if we're making bad choices, like he's always there waiting for us. His grace is always there. And so, you know, we stepped into a church, like we told you, a community. And when we started getting involved, we realized like we do not want to continue doing this because we are not going to take in everything we need to take in. Yeah. And when I'm telling you, when we did that and made that decision, like our whole life changed. And I personally probably will never go back to that, at least in that cycle I was in, because I'm in a new season in life. Like I don't want to go back to my old ways.
Yeah. But that was like, that's a personal example, like how we cut off a dead leaf in our life. Like literally we cut that out of our lives. And what that allowed is that it was basically a hindrance for where we were trying to go.
Yeah.
And so what that allowed us to do is like blossom in that area of our lives where the growth was trying to happen. And now since we cut it out, dead leaf is gone. Now the new growth can happen. Now it can proceed. Now we can go new places and experience new things. I remember when we stopped smoking, it was a lot more like productivity, like straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Like you just felt clear-minded.
You can start doing things.
You start doing things. Like you start looking at things differently. You're able to just get through your day and be normal, live a life. Like it was a really, really big hindrance. And I would never recommend somebody to be to that level. Like you were saying, you would never recommend it. And it's not necessarily like we're saying it's a horrible thing. Like if you do smoke weed, I think it's on a biblical aspect. I think it's a gray area in the Bible. It's not very clear, like don't do this or don't do that. But one thing I do stand on, the Bible does say follow the laws of the land. And weed is illegal in Texas. So with that, we do count that as, you know, not following the laws of the land if we were to smoke.
But also, like, I mean, I don't know. This just came to me. It's a little off track, but I'm still going to say it. But, like, cigarettes is legal. You can smoke cigarettes. But cigarettes are literally a cancer stick. Like, it's awful for you. But I'm not going to go and pick up a cigarette. Like, I just know that's not good for me. So, like, I choose not to do that. You know, but, like, when we were in a cycle of smoking weed, like, I suffered really bad. Like, I got free from anxiety and stuff, but my anxiety that I had was enhanced. Like I experienced paranoia, like a whole other level, like freaking out moods. Like I had like a cyst one time right here, and I remember like when I would I passed by the mirror and I would see it and I was high, like I freaked out. I bet you remember that moment.
No, I do.
Like there's so many times he had to calm me down because it was just like I could not. My biggest thing, like and then on a spiritual sense, when you smoke weed, you're opening up that pathway. Like you're opening up that door in the spirit realm, and it's open the whole time. Like there's no, somebody told me this. It's kind of like you're connected to God without your I'm just gonna say this and see how it sounds, but you're connected to God without you trying to be. Like it's like this, just this like door open to like a spiritual realm constantly, but you never know in the spiritual realm what kind of things can come because there's not this like protection over you.
There's no
in a spiritual
sense of like where you are. There's no sense of like or controllability. You know, it, like you said, it's open.
Yeah, because like I remember like I would pray, I would read my Bible, and I would be high, and I'm like, I'm still doing it. But one, I did not grasp it the way I do now, being sober. Like it was just different. It kind of just like flew past me. It wasn't in good soil. But that's a little bit about like the, you know, our old things that we had to cut off, and now seeing the progress. And I don't think that you're gonna notice it until you let go of that thing that's old. That thing that you need to cut off. You're not going to notice it until you step into that new season without it. So I just encourage you, whatever it is that is old and that you need to cut off, like step into that. And if you need a community, if you need a mentor, if you need somebody in your life to help you walk you through that, then I recommend that, because we replaced it. We didn't just
exactly. That's good.
Yeah, we didn't just like stop smoking and then we're like, oh, like, because if you do that and you're just chilling at home, you're gonna want to smoke or like drink or whatever, or you want to go back to that addiction because you don't have anything replacing it. For us, we replaced it with community, with being like full with our schedule and like reading a lot and educating ourselves and doing like a program and doing all kinds of stuff like school-wise, like for faith-based and things like that. And so we replaced it, and that's when our life changed.
Yeah. You're saying like you won't realize it until it's gone. Like that's so true. You know, if maybe there's like a website that you shouldn't be going to, maybe there's an app that you should undownload, an addiction that you need to put down, something that you need to just get out of your life, a thought process that you need to stop thinking on because it's literally paralyzing you. Or maybe there's just a person in your life that you know is like toxic to you, you know, they're not building you up. Even a family member, somebody that is close to you. There's people that you communicate with in the conversations that you have. You know that doesn't do anything but
tear you down.
It makes you feel heavy. Those are things that you can literally pick out and like when I say self-analyze your routine, that's what I'm talking about. You know, those type of things, you can pick those out. Like, oh, I don't need to do that. If we're talking about this right now, I don't need to talk. You know, or walk away. You know, if you're at a place where people are drinking and you're trying to like stop drinking because you know it's an issue for you, just walk away.
Don't be in that. Don't even put yourself in that. Don't be in the environment,
or just don't be in the environment. That's probably the best way to do it.
And replace it. Like, don't sit there and dwell on like, oh man, like now I'm bored. Like I really wanted to go to that thing. Like I really wanted to do that thing. Like get out your journal and start writing. Like, why do you need that thing? Write down like, what is that adding to your life? Like what is drinking adding to your life? You know, if you struggle with that addiction, like write those things down. And that's what helps my process of analyzing what's going on inside and like thinking about what I'm thinking about and doing a heart check when I feel like I really need to do one. You know, like why does this thing bother me? Or, you know, how can I change this? Or is this adding to my life? And like, why do I think it's adding to my life? Like start asking yourself questions. And I feel like that's a really good way to start.
Yeah. And that's really the higher view. You know, when you start to ask yourself those questions, when you start to self-analyze, like, why do I react to this way? Why do I feel like this when someone says something about that? Why do I act this way when somebody brings this up? Or when you start asking those personal questions and you start like coming to realizations that things are actually like rubbing you weird, and you're questioning yourself, that's you looking up. That's you like looking down and trying to analyze things and put them in order. That's a higher view. That's where you should be, because when you do have the higher view, you're looking around, you're seeing everything, you're able to grow. You're able to see things from a different perspective. And maybe you can see the dead leaves at that perspective. Maybe you can see the things that you need to cut off at that perspective. You know, I could like we're talking about, personally attest to that. You know, looking at it from a higher view, from a different perspective, other than what we're accustomed to, other than what the world does. A lot of the world will just keep going. A lot of the world will just push it down. You know, I'm fine, whatever.
Just put it in a bottle.
Put it in a box, bottle it up.
One
But-
day that will come out, especially when you're married.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna come out.
If you ain't married and you are dating, or if you're wanting to get married, it's inevitable for it to come out. You know, to have a healthy marriage, at least. To
Yeah.
say, you know,
Because you're literally like, and this is in the Bible too, and I really wish I knew what verse it was or things like that. But if you want to look up the things that we talk about that comes from the Bible, you can literally go on Google, type out what we said, and the verse will come up. I promise you. But about when you're about something in the mirror, whenever you look into the mirror, you see what you see, but when you walk away, you forget what you look like, or something like that. But when you come across somebody else, it's literally like iron sharpening iron.
yeah.
Like straight up.
And that's
So
what
when
it
you're
is.
married, it's just like a sharpening, like what's going on in you?
And I was talking to you about this like the other night, and I just feel like us being married has so much credit to where we are today, because it's literally constantly iron sharpening iron. You know, I can't ever go wrong without you noticing. You know, and it's not to say like we're pick pointing or pointing fingers or anything. We're just sharpening each other.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm here to help you. You're here to help me. It's just a beautiful exchange. And
Yeah,
it really it's helped us so much being married.
Yes. And
amazing.
even when that is going on and you do see the other person or your friend like stepping into the next wrong thing, or your friend that said, I'm never going to do this again, but falls into it again, you're not there to shame them and condemn them. That's not what you're supposed to do. You can pray for them. You can come into a place of prayer, because prayer is so powerful. Like, it moves things. God moves on your behalf when you pray. It's beautiful. Like, I literally see it in our marriage.
Now, I remember when I talked about in one of the previous episodes how, you know, when you do become a believer, you don't get superpowers. But I think prayer is one of those superpowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prayer is
Okay, I actually,
unbelievable.
you said we don't get superpowers, or you do?
I said we don't gain superpowers.
Oh, gotcha.
But
I mean, like, because like the Holy Spirit moves, like you literally
I-
feel the power of God.
what
in
I
you.
meant is like in a physical sense.
Okay.
Like we don't gain like, oh, I can see through walls type
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You know?
That would be a little strange.
Yeah.
That's like alien stuff,
Yeah.
and we ain't that. So I literally see that happening in our marriage, coming into a place of prayer. I see that tremendously. Whenever I see something going on in Jonathan, like spiritually, or, you know, the enemy likes to come and steal, kill, and destroy things, or be like spiritually distracting, or, you know, I could see things, you know, as a wife, you just see things differently. And like, that's from God, you know, he gave that to you for you to be able to pray and intercede for your family. So sometimes I will go and I will start praying for him, and literally sometimes even in the same time frame, I'll come back out and it's happening, and I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. Like, I didn't have to go and tell him straight up, like, hey, like, I noticed this. And sometimes you will feel that pull to go to your friend, your husband, and say, hey, you know, I'm holding them accountable out of love. You're not doing it out of condemning them. It's out of love, just
Yeah.
because you love them and you're there for them. And that's another thing, how a mentor could be so good for you. I think we should always have people pouring into our lives, no matter how old you are, you know, whether that's a friend or somebody older than you, or somebody that's in something that you're going to step into when you want to know their wisdom and those things. That's so good for you to have that. Either that's a parent or an uncle or anybody that can pour into you and hold you accountable.
Yeah, anyone you look up to. But I really liked this conversation.
Yeah.
I think this was like a really, really good conversation.
I don't want it to end.
I know. Don't leave us yet. No, but we hope you guys enjoyed this. I really felt like this was for somebody. If this was for you, you're welcome. I'm just kidding. No, but we hope that we inspired you. We hope that we can give some advice for your personal growth in your life. Just help you in any way possible. That's what we are here for. I would like to just let you guys know that me and Lex are both starting a group. I'm starting a men's group. She's starting a women's group. My men's group is called Permission to Be a Man. So if any guys out there in the DFW area, if you are looking for community with other men and just looking to grow, learn about how to be a man, and just how to carry yourself, how to act in this world that is so limiting to the man these days, come join the group. Reach out to me on social media. I'll send you the link to join, and I'll let you tell them about yours.
Yeah, so I also, like you said, the women's group, it's called Beauty Within. And we just discuss about this book called Fragrance of Beauty. It was created in 1970 something. It's pretty awesome how I came across that book.
Gem.
Yeah, the gem for sure. And I was reading it right away. I was like, women's group, ? Like, the other women need to read this. We go over anything that's hindering your beauty within you and how to walk out your original self. So fear, worry, comparison, anger, things like that are just hindering you. We talk about how to be free from that. There's scriptures to go off of, things to meditate on. Also, let's see, we also have like I'm printing out like a heart check thing that I was mentioned earlier in this podcast for you guys. So it's just a time to come to a coffee shop, hang out, just see where it goes. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be awesome.
Well, that will be this Saturday. Well, we're not.
It's going to start.
Ahead.
Yeah, it's starting September 10th. And it goes out until December. So even if you
join whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever, if you feel like this is for you, come along. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you join. But yeah.
Yeah, and also I wanted to say, if any of you guys have, something going on in your life or a topic that you want us to go over, you can always DM us. You can comment on the video. You can message us personally. And those are things that we can just pray about and see where it goes.
Yeah, maybe we can shed some light for you. We can explain things in a way that would help you out. I would love that. I'd love that. But with that, I think we're going to close this episode. We have a full day ahead of us.
Yeah.
Schedule is full, not busy.
Full.
We say our schedule is full instead of saying it's busy, because busy, it kind of has like a negative attachment to it. So we say full because it's something that we agree to. So we try to stay away from busy, but we're full.
Yeah.
We're full. So we have a full day. So we're going to let you guys go.
And just encourage you at the end of this to continue cutting off those old things. Even it's a daily thing. It's a daily analyzing what's going on within you and letting God peel those onion layers. And it takes one thing at a time. Like, don't be so hard on yourself if you feel like you're taking one step forward and one step back. Like, that is okay. Like, you are growing in between that, and you just taking a step forward is awesome. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, like, that is okay. Like, go to grace. Like, just feel the grace over you. Don't be so hard on yourself. I know what it feels like to be hard on yourself. Just don't do that. Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it.
Progress equals happiness.
Yeah.
Progress equals happiness.
So we want to leave you guys with that. We love you.
Yeah.
I love you too.
I love you. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Until then, see things from a higher view, and have a great week.
See you guys.
Peace out, guys.